Okay, are we ready?
You got something else going on. I want to thank all of you for coming to make this such a special birthday for my mom. Aunt B and for Cousin B. And I hope each of you took the time to spend a moment with B. And she's so excited and so appreciative. Thank you all so much for coming. How you doing?
I'm crying. That's good.
And most of all, happy birthday, B!
Big 9-0. Woo! I just want to say thank each one of you. It's unbelievable that you all came so far to for a party with me. I can't believe it.
Great. All right.
You know, when I see all these, all my cousins,
Older cousins.
and I think about dynamics and bookbinder family, you know, the first cousin group that I see, and the calm down. And you know, I think about the Cousins Club, and it's so great to have a group of first cousins come out here. And then when I think about Cousins Club, I think about my first cousins who are here too. And you know, we don't have a club, but it just feels so cool to be with you guys like it did.
Well, I got kicked out of the club.
So I think about bookbinder dynamics, and I think about Shapiro dynamics, and then I think about dynamics that we have within each of these groups. You know, and if you look around, there's not only that family thing that happens amongst us, but there's the individual connections, you know, that Edna has with Bea, that I have with Judy. And, you know, it takes 90 years for Bea, it's 1 year at a time, and she has all these things with each one of us. So that's what I think of.
And all the good babysitters.
And all the good babysitters that
Oh, and they're all very proud of themselves. That's how they
How come you never babysat for us?
Well, I was only 4 when you were
I wanted to say something about Aunt B, or I should say Aunt B. This is how she used to say it. And Aunt B was my first friend. And you might think between a 3-year-old boy and a 20-something woman, you don't talk about friendship. But that's how it was, and that's how it is. And, you know, a friend is not somebody who gives you a present or does you a favor. And a friend isn't even somebody who comes to your house or calls you on the telephone or sends you a birthday card. Anybody can do that. A friend is somebody who will recognize who you are and appreciate what you are and let you be. And that's the way it was.
All right.
So now I have to tell you a little bit about how it works. And how it works is called the sailboat sandwich. And Aunt B was my first friend, and she made me my first sailboat sandwich. And here's how you do it. You get a sandwich, you make sure that you don't get the filling leaking out over the edge, nice and even and neat. And then you cut off the crusts, so it's nice and square. And there's a beautiful economy in doing that, because then at the end you don't have that sloppy mess of the crust that the kid didn't want to eat. It's all been taken care of. And now you take that little square and you cut it into 2 perfectly symmetrical triangles by making a diagonal slice. And just picture that on your plate. And now take your knife and move it halfway down one of those triangles and make a cut exactly parallel to the first cut. Look down on the plate and what have you got? You've got a big triangle and a little triangle and a little straight piece with a bow and a stern. And you can rearrange that thing on the plate and you've got a sailboat. And of course, to a little kid, this is a kind of a marvel of aesthetic economy. Not that the little kid can tell you that, but it's something that's good to eat. It's something that's pretty to look at. It satisfies all of your needs for nurture and nutrition and for beauty. And there's a wonderful kind of geometry of beauty in that thing. And if it's done right, which it always was, you never really forget how to do it. Well, in my lifetime, I've had kids. I've had nieces and nephews. I've had the kids of my nieces and nephews. And I've made sailboat sandwiches for every one of them.
Hey.
And my niece, Katie Corbett, who's 26 years old, still wants me to make her sailboat sandwiches. And my grandson, Aaron. And every time I make one of those sandwiches, guess what? I think of Aunt Bea. And I know that every one of those sailboat sandwiches has a little piece of Bea in it. And that's what a friend is. Because friendship is something that no matter how much money you give away, you can never use it up. So all those sandwiches are out there, and those sandwiches are going to make people make more sandwiches. And I have always valued my first friend.
First of all, and most importantly, all of us always loved Aunt Bea. And I spoke to Rachel this morning, my daughter and her family, who live all the way in Moscow, Russia. And Rachel said they all wish they could be here. And she said, please tell Aunt Bea that she was our very, very favorite aunt. Wow. Great aunt, because there are other aunts. Now, I really want to take this opportunity to thank Aunt Bea for a couple of things. Besides being a wonderful friend and a wonderful aunt, she had really small feet. So, when we were about 9 years old, we fit into her high heels. And Aunt Bea wore really high heels, and so she gave us beautiful high heels. And I still remember the brown leather one with the little tassels. You remember them? And the other thing I want to thank Aunt Bea for is that Aunt Bea would come to dinner, and we would always have a wonderful time at dinner. And then, before Aunt Bea would go home, my mother would take washed out TV trays that the TV dinners came on, and she'd take all the leftovers and put them on the TV trays and cover it with foil and send Aunt Bea home with a bunch of meals. And you saved me from so many leftovers. I always hoped I would get a chance to thank you for that as well as for being so
Speak right now, but she wants you all to know that she's just overwhelmed with love and joy.
As we all are. Hey! Where'd you get the Walmart bag?
Well, you know, I didn't bring a canvas bag. I keep it in my backpack when I like it. Just sit at
Yeah, I say that
everything I didn't find.
Okay, Richard. Get over here with your mama.
Sit right there, please.
Misheard.
Okay, so.
No, I got it.
Paparazzi.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!